Now our data set is ready. Let's load them into Excel table. So to do that, you have to go to Home, Close and Load. Now the table has been loaded to Excel sheet in Excel table format, as you can see here. Now based on this, we can prepare a pivot table. So to do that, you can do a shortcut like this. You go to Table Tools, go to Design, Summarize with Pivot Table, and I want in a new sheet. So just click OK. A new sheet is added. We can close this and we can rename it to Summary PT for pivot table. Now let's bring the data in. So you want prepayment GL name in row label, months in column, and amount in values. Now our pivot table is beginning to take a shape as a prepayment summary. Let's quickly format some fields. So first of all, I'll format the date to be a shorter version like this, month and year. Now we don't need this grand total column. It doesn't give any meaningful information, so we can remove that. Now let's format the numbers. So to right click, go to number format, go to number, we want decimal to 0. Now we can remove the grid lines, and also let's add some more space above the table just in case we need it. Let's hide this first row and also change this to prepaid GN name. We can also give a design of a different look. You can give company name like this. Now let's add a slicer. To that we have to click in pivot table, go to options, insert slicer. We'll be selecting year. Click OK. This is a vertical slicer. We want columnar. We'll add one more because we'll be expanding it to one more year later. Now you can see you can slice your data like this. Now let's add one more prepayment GL to show you how it will be updated in our prepayment summary sheet. I have brought these two sheets up front besides control panel, the table and also the pivot table summary. And let's go to the last sheet and copy it. Move or copy, create a copy before validation. Click OK. Let's give them XPath Visa fees. Right, and we need to have same name here in B70 and A2. Save it. This is important for Power Query to update even if you are in the same sheet. Now let's try refreshing this table. Go to data, refresh, and it's been updated here. Since we copied prepaid subscription, the values are same, but you can see the 7th prepayment expense has been added. It was 6 earlier if you remember. Now there is 7. So accordingly, if you add more prepayment expenses as a different sheet and keep the naming convention like this all similar in A2 and B70, you shouldn't have any problem at all refreshing this sheet all the time, even for different years. So this is how you prepare a dynamic prepayment closing balance summary sheet with the help of Power Query and pivot table. Now, as I mentioned before, there is one caveat to this. You cannot have a custom fiscal year in this. So if I change it to June starting instead of January, save it, save it, save it. Let's make sure and refresh. You can see here for 2017 it is June to December. What is supposed to be June 17 to May 31st May 2018. And end of the year it should be till 31st May 2022, which is fine here. If I select entire slicer, that is entire period, it's showing correctly. But for individual years it is incorrect. So it starts in June and ends in December. The reason for this is that pivot table has a limitation. It cannot work with the custom fiscal year or financial year other than Jan to December. So it will always consider a year from Jan to December as a calendar year. Now to overcome this particular limitation, we can prepare a hybrid table which will be prepared based on this pivot table only. But I'll show you some techniques there, and also use of get pivot function which is unique to pivot tables only. So let's try to do that.